Hey guys, Will here. Welcome back to Modeling from the Ensign's Chair. Today we're going to talk about something that is not a 1.537 smoothie, believe it or not. I am still working on the 1.537 smoothie. Been working on it for, probably getting pretty close to a year now. Not quite a year, probably about 8 months. And I'm in the painting stage, and it's just taking a little bit of time. When I do a paint, whatever I paint, I like to wait if I've got to do another coat of paint on top of it, whether it be the Aztecs or some accent painting. I like to wait 72 hours at least before I do that paint. So it's a matter of doing some painting, waiting, painting some more, waiting, and it's just a pretty lengthy process for me. So I've got some downtime, and I'm kind of itching to start another project. I thought about letting you guys vote on it, but I figured you guys might want to torture me and stick me with something smaller like the two 1/1000 models I just picked up. So no, this time I'm going to work on something that's a little bit bigger, a little bit easier as far as not requiring modifications. It shouldn't require any modifications at all. So with that being said, I'm going to start working on my 1350 Original Series Enterprise, which I've had sitting in the closet since September, I believe. So it's been a couple months it's been sitting there, and I've just been aching to get to work on it. And I've got a couple other models waiting too, so I really want to get to work on something else, and I want something that's not going to require as much, or which it shouldn't require any modification from what I'm told. At least the current release, which is what this is. I think the original release of it had some windows that were out of place that you had to correct yourself if you wanted it to be accurate. But this one is does not require that modification. So let's open it up and take a look at it, because I haven't really even pulled it out of the box since I got it. But you open it up, you got your paint guide here, and your decal / paint guide. Tells you what you need to do on there, so that's good to have. And as far as the model itself, we've got our clear parts, all of our clear windows and that. Secondary hull, and this thing is massive. Let me compare that to my 1.537 or my 1.350 refit I've got sitting in the closet too. And man, look at that saucer section. That is huge. Look at that compared to the 1.650 or 1.537, whatever it is, original saucer that came out. That thing is gigantic. So one thing I'm noticing is it's a gray mold, gray plastic, so won't be doing any Raytheon lighting, but you don't really want to do it with this model anyway, because it's not how it was lit. You know, don't get hung up too much on how the studio did it. You could very well, if you want to keep it close to what the refit looks like, do some lighting on it similar to that, but I don't think Raytheon's probably not going to turn out too well. Maybe somebody's tried it and done it and they know. They can say something about it below. But I don't think it's going to work out too well with that color. We've got the standard round tube base there, the Polaroid base. And then this looks like all of our nacelle parts, the globes. Oh man, and nacelles, look at that thing, that is long. Those are some big nacelles, some ample nacelles there, as Mr. Scott might say. And then we've got our decals and instruction booklet in there as well. So yeah, a lot of parts, but at least it's a bigger scale, and hopefully I won't kill myself trying to put this one together with him with this 1.537 refit right now. But Boyd over at Trekworks is redoing his series on this model right now, so this is a good time to get into it, because if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to follow Boyd's guide, because Boyd's done quite a few of these. He knows what he's doing. I do have a couple things that I'm going to do that do a little differently, or that he's not having to deal with and work with. Like I said, the photo etch parts, I don't think he does those, so I'll go over those. And my lighting kit, I bought the actual Polar Lights lighting kit. Now, if I'm being honest, If I had done my research before I bought it, I would have gone with the tender controls kit, like Boyd does on his builds, because I've heard or I've read so many problems with this kit, polarities being reversed, the motors stop working and things like that. So I'm really hoping that this one doesn't have those problems. But it's got all the LEDs I'm going to need to light the kit. It's got some different colored parts, which is great. Let's see, we can open this up, take a look at what all's in here in case anybody hasn't seen this. Now, I think there's been a revision on this too. This kit's been out for a while. But, oh, look at that. So you have a, instead of having to do a battery pack, because I thought I'd read that somebody said that these used to be a battery pack, you actually have a plug-in adapter. So that's nice. I prefer all my stuff runs off of wall outlet power. So let's see what we got here. Some wiring, LEDs. Here's our busted LEDs. Some more wiring there, and our motors. Here's our motors for the front of the work nacelles there, the buster collectors. And then we've got some colored, looks like colored window options, which would be great because when this isn't lit, when I don't actually have the lights running on this, I believe will allow me to use red lenses where the lights are, so that way you still get that red and the green and all that. But that'll be fun to get into later. So I'll be working on that, and then I get the fun of figuring out, like everybody else has been with this model, what color paint do you want to use. You know, like I've said before, to me it's more about do you want it to look like the studio model, or do you want your model to look like it appeared on TV? Personally, I am of the opinion that I want this model to appear like it looked on TV. I know a lot of people have been doing like the rust ring and that on it, which you can't really see on TV. I know Boyd had talked about the grid lines being the pencil, and at this scale, it really shouldn't have them on there. People have done them, and I've seen it, and it looks great, but I think I agree with Boyd on that. I'm not going to bother with the grid lines on it. So I don't think I'm going to do the rust ring. We'll see when I get there. Like I said, I'm new to the airbrush thing, so I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable enough doing that to try to make that look good. So we'll take a look at that when we get to that point. But yeah, I'm excited to be starting on another project. I hope everybody follows along, and there are some things that, you know, every modeler has their own techniques, their own way they like to do things. So maybe I'll have something that everybody likes to, or you know, sees and picks up on and likes to use. So we'll see. My first task with this is I'm going to give it a good cleaning, give it a soak with some Dawn dish detergent, not the antibacterial stuff, not the scented stuff, just use plain Dawn. I've heard that the antibacterial will leave kind of a film on the parts that may interfere with painting. I don't know, I haven't tried it myself, but my understanding is just stick with the basic Dawn. So I'm going to give it a cleaning, and then the first thing I'm going to do is do all the light blocking, since I'm not going to be able to do any Rayethon on this, and I really don't want to anyway. It's just going to be a straight light block with some black primer, and I'll use a cheap white, like a white primer, probably either the Rust-Oleum or that. Don't worry too much about spending a lot of money on the paints on the inside. We'll save that money for the outside. But so that's what I'm going to do now, and we'll get that together, and when I come back I should be at the point when I do another episode of this where we're ready to start hopefully putting some lighting in this and getting it put together. But again, I just want to thank everybody that subscribed. Appreciate you watching, and until next time, keep modeling.